Would the race to the bottom for the sports card market be a fun ride? I'm not sure, but let's discuss that. Welcome back in, ERB sports fans, to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the race to the bottom when it comes to eBay auctions. Yes, we're going to talk about eBay auctions. I myself have listed a card that I'm going to do an eBay auction on and run a little experiment. Now, I don't have a lot of this card, but I had this card listed for a buy it now where I was willing to break even on a PSA 10, and I thought, I just wonder where the actual auction value of this card would be if nobody's interested in it when I'm offering a pretty fair price of like $27 for a PSA 10 Shohei Ohtani, Mr. MVP himself, the hottest guy going. Nobody seems to want the card, so I'm going to go ahead and run an auction and see what this card goes for. Maybe it goes for 10 bucks, maybe it goes for 20 bucks, maybe it goes for higher than the buy it now price. I'm just very, very curious what will actually happen. It's a beautiful card. Maybe I should keep it, but I wanted to run a little experiment and see whether the market reacts more to auctions or buy it nows. Now, my eBay page has been made up almost exclusively of buy it nows or best offers. I try to offer very, very fair prices. In fact, a lot of times I go and check the prior comps and I mark the card down below the prior comp to see if there's another buyer that I can make a quick sale on who happened to win, let's say, an auction of a different card and see what happens. And for the most part, it works out. To me, I'm not the greedy kind where I keep, trying to worry that I'm going to lose money on cards. I mean, if I lose money on cards here or there, yeah, that's fine. There's winners and losers. I'm going to make money on some, I'm going to lose money on some. Some of them, though, I think make for interesting experiments. In the case of this Team of the Future, Shohei Ohtani, I sent this card into PSA when it was, I think it was the $15 tier or the $19 tier. I don't remember. I sent it in during summer when he was white freaking hot. Got the card back 2 months later. He's injured. He's still going to win MVP most likely. Probably going to end up in a different team. And lo and behold, this card's popularity has tanked. In fact, everything has tanked, it seems. Lots of videos made about that recently. Jeff Wilson made a video about it. AIH made a video about it. Neo Cards and Comics made a video about it. Dan the Cardman made a video about it. Sports Card Radio made a video about it. I didn't really make a video about it, but I wanted to do a different take on it. So the theme of this video was, would the race to the bottom be a fun one? And what would happen? This is just one example. I'm willing to auction this card off and see what happens. Is it going to sell for more than my buy it now price or less than my buy it now price? And I wondered sometimes when I look at eBay recently, you used to see during the height of the pandemic and during the height of the COVID boom for the card market, auction after auction after auction, from Probstein 123 to a lot of other eBay consignment sellers. A lot of eBay sellers would have auction and auction and auction. A lot of shill bidding went on, a lot of craziness went on. But a lot of cards got bought, and they sort of got bought without too much thought for the downside in the card. And now you go on eBay, and it's a rare case for an auction to be ran, and a lot of buy it nows are best offers. And Stryker mentioned this in one of his videos that he was doing a live stream on and said the race to the bottom is not a fun one. It hurts the values of the cards across the board. It's not one that he's willing to engage in. He's not wrong. You got to hold steady. I mean, if you go to a card show, they're not running the cards in an auction. You express interest in a card, and if the dealer doesn't want to sell the card, then you walk away, right? No harm, no foul. eBay is a little weird. Some people seem to think they can fetch the absolute top dollar and have somebody just make a mistake and hit the buy it now button on a card that's 2 or 3 times what the card should go for. But I do wonder if all eBay card sellers converted to auctions for, let's say, a 3-month period, and we all had what was buy it now, and we all auctioned those cards off, where would the value of the cards go? How much lower could it actually go? That's one argument that many made when it came to the market size and the lack of, cards being a true investment, because you really don't have a fair market. Well, if every card was auctioned off, you probably would have a fair market value for the actual product. Here's what I think would happen, and let me hear your thoughts on this. But I think what would happen is if you auction cards off and they got so low in price, people would tell their friends and their friends' friends and their friends' friends, and all of a sudden they would be thinking they're going to snag a deal on eBay. And then it would drive up interest in the cards temporarily, maybe. Because if truly nobody thought they were going to get a deal, then nobody will be interested. If people thought they were going to get a deal, they would be interested. So let's think about this for a second. What would happen if from January to May, we ran an abundance of sports card auctions on eBay rather than buy it nows? Do we think that we would increase the interest in the sports card hobby, even if prices go temporarily down? And overall, that would be a good thing for the health of the market? Maybe. Do we think that it would decrease the interest in the sports card market? I'm going to guess the sellers would be absolutely pissed because they would have, values of their cards probably absolutely tank. But if you're buying in at the low prices that you see today and you're willing to take that risk, maybe you do okay. I don't know. Maybe you do okay. And in fact, if you are a buyer of a card to go to a card show or to go to a major card show, you might want to buy the card on auction because you can probably get a buyer to buy it from you during a show for a little bit more than what the auction will go for, perhaps. But it's a real fun experiment. Where would the card market head with regards to sales volume and value if we ran more auction style things on eBay rather than buy it nows? Because the buy it nows are all that dominate eBay at the moment. There are very, very few cards actually being auctioned off. I wanted to run a really cheap experiment. I was willing to lose money on this card. I know, big deal, right? It's a Shohei Ohtani card that probably is worth $20. I was curious, would the card go for $10? Would it go for $25? Would it go for higher than $25? It's an interesting psychological experiment to that. So let me know what you guys think. Would the sports card market be made healthier by auctions and abundance of auctions again, or be made more unhealthy from where we already are? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you in the next video.